So again, the passengers are asking me if I'm going to this place alone. And they're saying, be careful, be careful. So I'm getting a bit worried now. Olio from Fort Portal in Uganda. Not so long ago, it was reported that just a few kilometres away from here, just across the border in the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo, that some of the militia groups were capturing the pygmies in the forests and they were killing them and eating them as cannibals. And then yesterday, over on this side of the border, I was speaking to a local person and he also told me that even sometimes in the forests that the pygmies do the same. They also hunt and kill humans for their flesh. And he himself actually felt very scared to head over to the area where we are going to explore today. So we're going to go and visit a small village, and the village is named Tandi. It's not necessarily a forested area. I believe that some of the pygmies have been driven out of the forests here and more into the towns and the cities. So join me. We're going to go and have some fun. We're going to go and explore, see what we can find, see who we can meet. So I've got me kikamondo. Kikamondo is typical traditional breakfast with some chapati, beans, egg, as you can see a couple of slices tomato, and it's very tasty and I'm about to tuck in. So it's a clean plate. Those beans, they taste almost the same as baked beans in tomato sauce, but maybe not as sweet. But it's a good breakfast, it's a good all-day breakfast. So I'm going to be finishing off my breakfast following that kikamondo. I'm going to wash it down with a cup of hot milk, which is quite popular in this area. And I'm sure you've all had hot milk before, you know what it tastes like. I'm going to put a bit of sugar in. The milk also is very fresh, probably straight from their farm this morning. And if you want to buy it cold, they get it in a ladle and put it into a plastic bag. And they sell it by the cup, a few cents for 1 cup or 2 cups or however much you need. But it's nice, tasty, very fresh, very creamy. But anyway, I'm all set up now. I've had a big breakfast, big glass of milk, stomach's fully lined. I'm ready to be confronted by any cannibals. Gotta go and find a boda boda now. So I've just got some transport to Ntandi. They actually call these taxis, it's like a little minibus, and it actually picks up a group of people. But I negotiated with a few boda boda drivers and it was a bit overpriced, and the taxi's costing 7,000 out to Ntandi. So it should be there in about 30-40 minutes. Just been informed Ntandi is about 60 kilometres from Fort Portal, so it's probably better to go in a taxi than rather go on a motorcycle. It's quite a distance to go on a bike. We've just pulled over in the little village of Karago, and I'm pretty sure the driver just said to me, "Excuse me while I go and relieve myself," and he's just nipped out, but he's left his engine running. As you can see over behind me, you can see the mountains. It's very green, only a few kilometres out of the city, and it's just thick with banana plantations, forest farms and so on. So we've just arrived in Ntandi and it's very hot, very humid, and I've already been approached several times by motorcycle boda drivers to take me up to the village to see the pygmies. But the pygmies, apparently they're located all across the region. Unfortunately, a lot of them, they've been driven out of the forests and they're now living in the small towns and the small villages. Some Ugandan-backed organisations have also been known to enslave some of the pygmies and use them for foraging for food in the forests or prospecting for minerals. So it's a bit of a shame, really. The village, apparently, is up that way, and we're going to go and have a look shortly. So it seems that over on the other side of the border, over in the Congo, cannibalism seems to have re-emerged since the last vestiges of the colonial influences eroded over time since the war. But I'm going to go now and I'm going to drive up into the village. I don't know what it's like. I hope they're quite hospitable and not too aggressive. We'll see how it goes. So just after I filmed that last clip, there was two guys walking a few meters in front of me. As they approached me, one of them threw a plastic bottle on the floor right in front of me, and he said, "Stop filming, don't do that with your camera again." And all I was doing was filming myself walking along the road, as you saw. We're almost at the boda station now, but I'm going to ask the boda driver before we go up into the village, just to make sure that there's not going to be any trouble, because I don't want to get eaten alive. So after that guy threw the bottle at me, I saw a military guy walking down the road who spoke English, and I've just been having a little chat with him, and he said the pygmies can be a little bit aggressive, and he said maybe when you get to the village they might start demanding things, especially if they've been drinking. He suggested that I go with a guide, and he's contacted someone. He's contacted a local indigenous person who's going to take me over there, and he said it should cost about 10,000 shillings. But whilst I'm waiting here in the shade, back to the Congo, much of the vast forested area over there is controlled by a group called the Mai Mai. The Mai Mai are a tribal militia, and they're also united by their magical beliefs and their taste for human flesh. So I really do think it's safer to go with a guide. So we've just got a boda and we're off to the village, and I've got a friend behind me, Joseph. Joseph is going to tell us a little bit about the history and the lifestyle.
We are going right now, we are proceeding at the pygmies community, and then literally these people, they came out from the forest and they were given up a community in Congo district, Western Uganda, and right now we are proceeding to their community. We want to see how they live, we want to see their community, and we want to see their extents of living, socially, politically and economically. How are they?
So we're buying a sack of rice as a goodwill gesture to go and visit the pygmies. Then they can share it out. 55,000 it's going to cost. So we've arrived right in the village in what they call a place of worship. Are they animists?
No.
Are they Christians? Or
yes,
they've all converted to Christianity?
Yeah,
okay. Traditionally, they were animists, weren't they? Spirits in the forest.
Actually, there's an organization that came out from England, tried and built up a church nearby, and every evening, as I told you, they always gather from here. There's a project that's running on together here, and they've been supplying with them with Bibles to give them with that spirit strength. You put in, and then this is like a straw. The forest is straw, you know. So this is.
It's two pipes, and it's clay. It's quite heavy.
This is the knife, good knife.
Handmade knife,
Yes.
pounded down, flattened out.
Yeah.
I think some of them are looking a little bit bigger than I expected. Since they've come from the forests and into the towns and changed their diet, have they started growing taller?
When they came out from the forest, they began mating.
So some of them are mixed blood?
Yeah, indeed, they're mixed
okay.
blood. I know they're mixed blood.
How long has this community been here then?
7 years.
So all of these people, 7 years ago, they were living in the forest?
In the forest.
Okay.
7 years earlier before.
Okay.
You've given them rice.
Yeah.
So we're wishing like to have some cultural dance from their community. If you're like wishing for a cultural dance from them.
No, they don't need to do any dance. But can they show me how to use a bow and arrow? They have any arrows and a target? Maybe they can teach me how to use a bow and arrow. That would be more interesting. So hopefully someone's going to teach me how to use a bow and arrow. And then I'll be prepared when I go into the forest. So this guy's got some arrows. Have we got a target? So we're going to go out with this guy. Go out here, yeah? So this is the bow and arrow man. He's going to teach me how to hunt in the jungle.
So what I think, I'm going to hold it for the camera.
I can put it down somewhere. Hello, hello.
You know, if you used to say hi to them, you say kutia.
Kutia.
They reply Indio. They say kutia, how are you? And they say Indio, meaning
Indio. Kutia, Indio. And that's the local language.
They speak Lugwisi.
Lugwisi.
Yeah, Lugwisi.
Okay, it's like their own language.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Lugisi.
Is it recording?
Yeah, it's recording. He was trying to get it in the tree, wasn't
Indeed, indeed.
All the kids have walked into the line of fire.
Ask them, they like living out together, you know.
In the forest, they're always outside, aren't they, and living together. And... Almost.
Now,
Okay.
like, you have to be strong. You've got target.
Gone to Kampala. Too hard, that wasn't it?
I have to use a lot of strength to pull it, like in case if you're hunting down an animal. So actually, you know, you have to be strong enough in the hands, like.
So all the kids have gone into the line of fire again. He's lost his arrow, hasn't he? Let's go and have a look. Oh, he's gone up the tree. He's gone up the tree looking for the arrow. I thought it came down here. I think we've lost it. Everybody's looking for the arrow. The whole village is out looking for the arrow. Did you find it? Maybe I shouldn't fire another arrow. Check this out, bamboo bong. What do they smoke in here? So they got all the gifts out. I think they want to sell some stuff to me, but I don't think I'm going to buy some. So we'll give them a little bit of money before we leave. This is the sister to the king, and this is the king's wife here. So is there a king in every pygmy community?
Actually, every community has its leader.
Okay.
Like, so for this community, they have one king.
Yeah. I've given them a little tip and we're going to make a move. Thank you. Thank you. Right, bye-bye. So we didn't get eaten. We're going to get out alive.
Yeah, you can say Moisalo.
Moisalo. Moisalo.
For me.
King's sisters followed us.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Believing in these gods.
Animists.
Indeed.
The spirits of the forest. On that side of the road over there, we just walked past somebody drying out some coffee beans at the side of the road, and then we've just come across cocoa beans, and possibly for export.
Whenever they always dry, they always change color. Like let's say they always change color.
Okay, so when they dry, they get darker. Yeah. I'm told that almost everyone's growing cocoa beans here, and they've got them all drying them out.
Very fresh.
These are very fresh ones. Oh, they're wet, aren't they?
They're still wet.
Okay. So we're just about to enter a coffee processing plant here, and I can see outside all the coffee, it's already been roasted. This is where they grind the coffee. They grind it down and they make it into powder.
It's where they try and remove these husks.
Remove the husks. But has this been roasted?
You can see it's very, very dry.
So this has all been roasted.
For further processing.
Yeah.
Yes. They also pack
Yeah.
for further processing.
Yeah.
So they also export it to Kampala. Some other machines to mash into powder.
Yeah.
And they now begin packing them in small tins, selling them out.
Yeah. Where is this coffee going, do you think?
Export to Kampala.
In Uganda?
In Uganda.
Okay.
Even out in the country.
Okay.
So like as you can see, this guy is trying to time.
Yeah, to dry it.
Reaching up in the evening, everything will be clear. Then they take up in their machines. After packing, a car comes from Kampala for further processing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a cocoa tree, and I can just see the pods up there, and they're quite big, 6-7 inches big, and apparently when you crack it open there's several beans inside it, and they change colour.
They go yellow when they're ready.
Yellow.
Yellow or brown.
But now must be the harvest season because many people have them outside. How many harvests do they get in 1 year?
Which month?
Oh, every month?
Every month they harvest 2 times.
They harvest twice a month?
A month.
That's fast.
On 15th and on 30th. So it
all year?
Yeah,
even during, like, I mean, now is just starting the raining season, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. So like every month they harvest twice.
Okay.
Every month.
Okay.
It means that they harvest 24 times. 24 times in a year.
Yeah. I think the coffee is just like once a year, isn't it?
It's only once
a year.
One season.
Yeah. Hello. So I'm in a taxi now, waiting to be taken back to Fort Portal. I've just bought another fresh fruit drink. It's got an interesting taste, and it's got a bit of a kick to it. It's very spicy, but that was an interesting little trip out there to see the pygmies. There's about 70,000-80,000 of them spread out throughout Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Traditionally, the Batwa Pygmies, they've been deeply rooted in the forest and the regions around this area, and then in 1991 the Pygmies were officially evicted after decades of increasing privatisation of the land and the parks. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video today, and we're going to go back to Fort Portal now. Thanks for watching. Any questions, write in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.